Well, hello and welcome to Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems episode 8. I think we're on now. It's truth. I'm Stephen Allen.
I'm Eric McElroy.
And we will be answering any questions that you have and talking about, the big issues when it comes to surviving lockdown, Corona, blah, 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 COVID. It's been a while now, hasn't it? We've been here for 40 days, is it?
Yeah, I think we're at roughly 6 weeks now, because this is the end of April, which is just, oh my dear God. But yes, thank you for joining us. The whole concept of the show is that we're two comics who are in quarantine, essentially, solving problems, because that's all we can do these days, because we are not valued members of society. So.
Yep.
Bless them. I'm glad they're there. But when even the, ASDA truck driver is more valuable to humanity than you are, I'm glad that they're there. But,
Did you not always know this, though? I could tell. You see people stacking shelves and you think, oh, I quite enjoy it and it's important to buy stuff. But also, I realise I go around and tell jokes more for my purposes than the audience's purposes. Of course, I wasn't providing much to society. And I burnt off a lot of carbon doing it. Oh, yeah. This is no wonder. This was needed.
Last summer I flew to Turkey to do a gig. I flew to Cyprus to do a gig. No, Cyprus? I don't even remember. I flew all over the world to stand for 40 minutes and tell people jokes. None of those people are at those holiday places anymore. I think the companies that ran them have gone bankrupt even before this happened.
And you helped.
Yeah. All of that was meaningless. But yes, so we're here to solve your problems, present some of our own. We've had people send us questions, which is great. We've had one, I think we'll start with, because from Sharon, who actually contributed to the show, which is something that you can do with the links that we've helpfully put on the site that we're on.
Right there somewhere.
Because no one else is paying us money anymore, and we still have hopes and dreams.
Yeah. She's already messaged, actually, so she's watching right now. She says, good evening, chaps. Good evening, Sharon. Good news. We've answered your question.
We have. So we'll start with that, Sharon. The question was from Sharon, if you were curating a coronavirus pandemic exhibition 200 years from now, what 5 key items would you put in it?
Yeah.
Which is a great question.
Okay.
Steve, what are you archiving?
Okay, I can. I've had a crack at this. So I would say it would be face masks.
Okay.
Straight away, I'd be going for face masks because they seem to be important. We were told that we wouldn't be wearing them, although a few hours ago, Boris Johnson at the Daily Briefing thing said this:
is that as part of coming out of the lockdown, I do think that face coverings will be useful, both for epidemiological reasons, but also for giving people confidence that they can go back to work.
No. The reason he wants us to wear face masks is so that he can do jokes about us looking like letterboxes. That's the only reason he wants it. He's bored. He's been in hospital too long. I see. You look like a ninja. That's what he'll say to us all. That's the only reason he wants us to dress up like we're characters from Mortal Kombat. I see this guy coming a mile off. Yeah.
Why wouldn't he say that again? Because it didn't get him in trouble the last time. He made racist comments like that before, and he became prime minister.
It paid off for him. Nice.
Exactly.
Do you want to add one to the list? What's on your 5?
Well, I think after the face mask, the biggest iconic image of this virus has got to be toilet paper. I've got mine. I keep it handy. I know I got to keep it close, because there's no way I'm going to be letting any of the family members get anywhere near this.
No, you're right. Look, we all know that is clearly a spare room turned into a man cave office. You've got toilet tissue in there. Of course you. This is not a stockpile thing going on. Not a chance.
Well, as my energy levels have decreased throughout this crisis, I barely leave this room. So having some toilet paper's handy.
I would add, and this is quite fitting to follow on from yours, bleach. Because I think that was one of the turning points in all of this. Donald Trump saying that they should look into using bleach, not outside the body. That would be idiotic. Use it inside the body, because that is where it would do the most good. And he wanted medical doctors to look into it. And he was also saying about UV. Look, we know he's not going to say use bleach on the outside. It would ruin that perfect tan that he's got. And if he did ruin it by putting bleach on it, back under the UV. He's clever. I don't know why people keep mocking him. So I'd add some bleach.
Okay. Yeah. I would go with a webcam because I know I was late. I didn't have a webcam before this
Yeah.
crisis happened, and we're now. This is my career is counting on this little tiny device, and I feel like I'm looking at Hal from 2001, and plus by the time I decided to get one, it was about a week or two into the crisis when everyone were under lockdown, and they were all sold out. So I don't want to say how much I had to spend for this little puppy,
It does
but
look
let's
good
just
though,
say,
because actually already today, Mike, hello Mike, how you doing? He sends a message on Facebook. He says, "Question: How comes Eric looks younger than he did years ago?" It's Mike Monera, so he knows what you look like years ago.
hello, Mike.
And Chris says it's
Um,
the lighting.
Yeah, it's the lighting. It's also not going outside for the last 6 weeks. That helps. Yeah, that's part of it. Let's see. What else have you put in there?
Also being added into my time capsule museum type thing would be a
Yep.
copy of a newspaper, possibly The Sun. And I say this because you might want to archive one, because that newspaper's not going to be around for long. Indeed, newspapers were on their way out anyway, and
Yeah.
they have just taken a slap, because you're only allowed to leave the house to shop once a week. Newspapers are more frequent than that. I've not looked into it, but I don't think you can buy all of last week's papers when you do your weekly shop.
Yeah.
And look, I've got nothing against. Look, I've put them in my props in the background. Newspapers that I write for, and a desperate pile of books that I'm trying to flog. But let's be honest, in the future, there ain't going to be newspapers, which is a shame, because that was my stockpile of toilet paper.
Yeah, I was going to say the local newsagent near us ran out of toilet paper first, newspaper second. Before I say, because we're answering a question from one of our contributors, solving problems in quarantine, Chris Curling has just become a contributor and then donated some money. So thank you very much, Chris. Send us a question. Let's see, what else would I add to this? I would add some memorial to this exhibition, something regarding 5G. Because I'm sure 200 years from now, we won't even have, we'll be on like probably 8G by then.
Yeah. We'll be on
but
like 32 double G. It'll be great.
yeah, the way I'm going, I'm getting to that size. Because I mean, obviously, that 5G connection, 5G masks, and everything else, that's what caused the crisis in the first place. I firmly believe that faster internet is what caused a virus that came around the world so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, how else is it going to get round so quickly if it weren't for non-ionizing radiation that uses the same frequencies we've used for, decades? So, yeah, well done, science deniers.
Science deniers. What else are we going to throw in there?
I'm going to put Tiger King from Netflix, because sweet mercy, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have made it through the start. The start of the lockdown was the trickiest one, and I thought, my life's not going anywhere. I've lost a lot of work. I start to have, really ask some questions about, what have I done with this one shot at existence that I've been given? I am probably more than halfway through it, and what have I achieved? And it turns out, don't need to worry about anything, because I'm doing better than some guy who's shooting tigers and spending his entire life just trying to get Carol Baskin put in prison. And he ends up in prison. I spoiled the ending for you, but I definitely put it in.
Yeah, I haven't watched Tiger King yet because I started to, and I felt like, you know what? Why am I FaceTiming my family? This is insane. I would definitely throw in there some sweatpants.
Yep.
So tracky bottoms, I think you'd call them, because they have become quite my friend. I mean, expandable trousers. Should have been wearing these years ago.
Nice. Yeah, it's the way, I can't fit in any other trousers anyway, so it's fine. And my final one, just so we can wrap this one up, to make my 5, because you're doing 5 each, would be a USB drive with a copy of all of these shows, apart from last Thursday's, because it didn't really work. But the rest of them, this is the true record of what happened during COVID-19.
That's right. And my final one that I would put in there would be actually linked. Now, we do this show surviving enough people thinking, hey, we like these guys, we throw them a coffee or buy them a beer on the link there. We appreciate that if you can afford it. But we also, my final thing I would keep would be alcohol, because I think many of us needed that to survive. And I'm pleased, Steve, I haven't told you this yet, but we have gotten sponsorship for the show.
Really?
And I can show you. The show is now brought to you by Corona. Now, for those of you who are thinking, well, I was just about to donate to the show, but now they've got a corporate sponsor. Hold on, they don't have any money because they don't buy beer anymore. Yeah. There was so much of this at the shop. I just thought, well, I'll get some. So, cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, congratulations. So thank you, Sharon. We've answered your question. If you've got any questions you'd like us to answer, message in whichever form you can find it. We're streaming all over the shop these days, including LinkedIn today. We've added that to the place where the streams are. for no good
Yeah.
reason. No one cares.
No reason. Yeah.
What's your first topic? What's the problem you're dealing with, Eric?
Well, this is a personal one. I have managed because we're allowed out of the house, for about an hour a day of exercise. That's all that's technically allowed, which is more exercise than I normally had. I managed yesterday to twist my ankle. So yeah, thanks, government mandates. And I didn't even realize I twisted it. I woke up this morning and it was hurting. So either I twisted it yesterday and it's like just I don't know how I don't normally have in many physical ailments like this because I've avoided exercise all my life. I mean, it's just I think it's a good thing that I'm currently doing sit down comedy instead of stand up comedy because I'd be in pain otherwise.
Do you ever get that thing? I think because the way my mind works, if I woke up with ankle pain, the first thought before I was really awake would be, "Oh, it's that woman from Misery." Would you not have thought that?
I had forgotten about that movie, but you're right. I'm going to slip the lights on tonight.
Bringing all the references up to date for the young millennials watching us via the internet.
That's right. Yeah. Since I look younger, I'm that millennial now.
Yeah. Well done. Okay, so you've done your ankle in. Well, put some ice on it. So you can't get ice. You have to walk to the shops. Darn it. Can we move on to right? Everyone's talking about coming out of lockdown, the various liberties that will be given again. I saw this on a new show.
So the Swiss authorities say it is safe for children under the age of 10 to hug their grandparents.
Now, to be fair, Switzerland's famous for killing old people.
True.
And when I say to be fair, I probably mean the opposite of that, to judge an entire nation based on the fact that they have dignitas there. But that's one of the liberties that they get over there. The young people under 10 will be able to hug the older people. That's not a liberty I'm too worried about. Knowing that you like your alcohol, Eric, this is one thing that might cheer you up.
And I'm just seeing here Wetherspoons is starting to plan, it says, for a reopening of its pubs and hotels in or around June. That's according to the company, but we will see what happens to that.
Do we need Wetherspoons to be open up? Okay, without it, where are you going to start drinking at 8 o'clock on a Tuesday morning? At home. That's the point of this.
I mean, life already feels like there's not much hope. I think opening Wetherspoons isn't the ray of sunshine that we were all hoping for.
Yeah. Turns out they need to put rules in. If any pubs open, an expert wrote a piece in a newspaper was talking about the rules that they'll have to bring in. There will be social distancing and also there'll be a 3-drink maximum. I thought that was going to be to stop us getting drunk because you get closer to people you wouldn't get near when you're drunk. That's often why you've ended up snogging people you don't find attractive. It's the same mental process that makes you find fatty, sweaty kebabs attractive at 2 a.m. in the morning. Turns out it's not. It's just to make it so that you leave and they can fill that space, get some turnaround.
I see. Okay.
Because they would have to keep people 2 meters apart. And the problem with that is the bar. It's the one place where everyone crushes together to try and get served before it's their rightful turn. So, and we talked about this in Edinburgh this year. I get to bring it back. It's time to bring in queuing in the bar. Yeah.
Yeah, as much as I argued in our show many times during the festival how much I love a good crush at the bar, I think those times are gone. I will have to cede that moment. But if people are only allowed to drink 3 pints or beers or whatever drinks on a given night, how is anyone who's British ever going to conceivably mate again?
We're not. That's how you keep 2 meters apart. It's great.
Without that alcohol. Yeah. No, you said it's not how you find some people. It's how anyone finds anyone attractive in this country. It's one of the reasons why I am married here.
Hey, do you know what? I've spent all day filming different bits for today's show, looking at myself on different cameras, and I've seen my face from so many angles. Without alcohol, I'm going to live a miserable life. So I'm aware. No, and look at this. It's mainly fat face. Oh, thank you. I'll have some of that.
Thanks, Stu. Corona.
If you do want to start queuing at the bar, all you do is you take the red rope that they have in the VIP section. Because let's be honest, the P's in that section are certainly not very high at all. Have you seen them? And then just make yourself a queue like they do in the post office. And I would be available for the voiceover that says, "Bartender number 5, please." A shout out to Mike Monero because earlier on he said it's 5 to 5 in the comments. He was the person who inspired me to try that on stage. If anyone's seen the stand-up show, if it weren't for him, I never would have done that.
That's going back to the day. I mean, my argument always for crushing to the bar was survival of the fittest, and now obviously that would have the opposite.
Just survival.
Just survival.
Here's the question though: Should we be concerned about bringing back pubs? To answer that question, let's go to our philosophical correspondent, who's me sat in a big chair, drinking a hot drink, looking out of a window, just feeling thoroughly depressed. Look, I know that people miss the pub. We all miss things. I miss people. I miss talking. God, I miss doing stand-up comedy. I miss the sound of the audience. You know, that laughter, the quiet. I miss showering on a regular basis. I miss trousers. I miss being able to fit in my trousers. When this lockdown's over, I can't leave the house. I can't wear anything. Can't even go to the shops to buy new ones because I got trousers. I miss being able to clear my throat on public transport without people staring at me like I've just taken a dump in their prep bag. I miss working in proper film studios so I have actual auto cues and don't have to put post-it notes on windows to do stuff like this. I miss being able to watch Shawshank Redemption without being jealous of the freedoms they've got. I miss that he used to bring me roses. I wish he could again, but that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain pours down. But the roses here are prisoners too. When morning comes around, I'm not coping. Beautiful. Emotional is what I'd say.
Yeah.
I think that thoroughly answers that.
That was a very touching piece, Steve. And I thought, well performed, well shot, and you clearly are losing your mind.
It's so true. Even I thought that when I watched it back. I was like, the cocktail one from a few shows ago was bad enough, but that one, I should not be allowed spare time.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think for some people's wellness, yeah, this is going to be a hard road back to civilization. That's what I have to say there.
Beautiful. Right, moving on. What's another one of the ones you've spotted?
Well, I keep getting emails. Even though I Trump and Donald Jr. actually on Twitter, I get emails from him. And when I say from him, I mean from the Trump campaign. And are you on the Trump campaign mailing list, Steve?
I am, because there's that Steve Allen in America who keeps using my... He doesn't realise he put a dot in the middle of a Gmail account does make a difference. So he keeps thinking he's signing himself up for stuff, and he signs me up for it. And he's signed up for Twitter a couple of times with it, and I just nick the account and add it to accounts that I've got. But yeah, he signed up for the Trump thing, and I've been getting them.
Right. I thought I was special. Oh, man. Well, Eric sent one. I don't know if you caught this one because I sent like 5 a day. And this one just starts with, Eric, I am so proud of my father. That's the first. He's writing to me as Eric. I mean, God, I mean, how kiss-ass is that? I mean, how desperate for his father's love is he said, I am so proud of my father. Now, I mean, I've known my father for a long time now. And I can honestly
all your life,
say,
I'd imagine.
I mean, I am proud of him. I was never tell him that, but
Of course not. No.
especially not in a letter. I mean, only if we've been drinking. I'd be like, I'm proud of you, Dad, but not sober. I mean, anyway, they're fundraising. That's what the purpose of this email is. Now, there's something you're going to notice in this that they are basically saying this is a unique opportunity. If you are interested in supporting the Trump campaign, they are asking. I think we've got the initial email. Actually, you can show it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There it is.
You can see there, I'm so proud of my father. So I'm not making this up, but you'll notice in there, a couple lines down, it says that every dollar that you donate towards the Trump campaign will get triple matched. Pretty generous, isn't it? Not really clear who it's triple matched by, but it's triple matched by someone. Now, the email continues on. I think we've got the second part of the email there, Stephen. Now, I want to know if you notice a flaw in their triple theory. Now, all donations triple matched. Contribute now, and they've got some preset buttons that if you contribute $20, that will be tripled and be $80.
Hey?
And they've continued. 15 is 60, 10 is 40, 5 is 20. Contribute any amount, and it will get tripled to be quadruple that amount.
Yeah. Okay, so I see what they mean.
The Trump organization. You can see now why the company's gone bankrupt 3 or 4 times. I guess what they're saying is...
Yeah, they're matching it and they're adding that triple to your original, but they could have looked better by going quadruple.
That's not a triple match, is it?
No.
I mean, or is it? I mean...
But
I don't know.
Is anyone actually... Right, I've noticed they've sent loads of emails. I do get confused because the ones that come from Eric always have the subject Trump, and I get really confused because the only time you email me is to send me a clip for this show, so I always think they're from you, and then it's begging for money. I'm like, it's definitely from Eric, and then I realise it's their campaign thing. There was one that said something like the deadline to try and get. One of them was from Sarah Huckabee Sanders and said, Donald has noticed your name is not on the list. Has he got nothing else to do with his time than just check names? I mean, okay, Allen as a surname has not got far through the list, but do some flipping work.
Actually, I think it's safer if he's checking emails and checking lists than governing the country or advising people to take care of themselves by drinking bleach. So, yes, Donald, focus on the emails.
Yeah. Actually, I can chip in with a bit of Donald Trump news because as we mentioned in the podcast, the free podcast that is a companion piece to this, Comics Aren't Essential. Go and have a listen to yesterday's. You talked about how the number of Americans killed by coronavirus has now exceeded the number of Americans killed in the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
He was asked about this in a press conference because back in February he said that it would go away and that it would go back down to zero. And loads of shows have played the clip of that guy asking that really important question. I think I asked a better one when I was at the same conference, but no one else has covered this. Take a look. Mr. President, Stephen Allen, Lamestream Media. How is it that a few months ago you said coronavirus was a hoax and would magically go away, but now it's led to more deaths in America than the Vietnam War? How is it that your approval rating is not at zero?
Well, it will go down to zero ultimately.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. So I don't know why I wasn't covered. Maybe it was the silly accent I was doing.
It's a good question, and it's the right answer. And I also like the fact that you were able to ask that question from the same spot you were able to do your philosophical conference. Why couldn't you even just do it from a different part of the house?
Couldn't be bothered. Already, look, this room has got the live web streaming in. The bedroom is where I filmed that, and the front room is where we filmed the MASH report. I'm running it, and I filmed the thing in the kitchen last week. There are only 2 rooms left of the toilets, and I'm not going in either of those bathrooms. Daddy's doing all right for himself.
I was going to say, did you mention the bedroom? What are you filming in there?
That thing where I'm pretending that I'm interacting with Trump.
All right. Okay. That's why you can see, folks, that if you can contribute to the show, we would use the money to have a better set.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Do you want to do another one of yours before we? I've got some Rudy Giuliani news coming up.
God, I love a little Rudy. Georgia has been in the news, the state of Georgia, not the country. Most people in America don't know there is a country, but that's fine. Not only are they the one of the first states to really just totally break down the lockdown, they have opened up loads of things. They've taken the real initiative here. They've opened up the nail salons. It's important. Tattoo parlors, key, bowling alleys, that kind of thing. But now, because of coronavirus, parents can essentially self-certify their children's ability to drive a car. And we've got proof.
Meantime, back here in Georgia, COVID-19 is making it a little easier for teenagers to get their driver's licenses. For now, they don't have to pass a road test.
Under Governor Kemp's latest executive order, new drivers don't have to take the behind-the-wheel road test. It will be up to the parents to determine if their teen is ready to get behind the wheel.
Now, as someone who is homeschooling their children, this is a terrifying concept. I can't get my kid to do algebra, much less know when to yield at a roundabout. I can't get them to unload the dishwasher. Like that science, for parents to just willing to fine, you can drive now. Just get out. Just leave me alone. This is a terrifying concept. Yeah, my kid can drive. I mean, this is in the state that is just encouraging people to go get tattoos and their nails done in the middle of a highly contagious virus. These are not the people I trust to let their children drive.
Yet again, Eric, I think you're missing the main point here, is if you let children who can't drive, it will keep people off the streets. It's the free market sorting itself out again.
It will save people from dying from the coronavirus.
Yes.
Because they'll be dying from the traffic.
Wipe them out first.
Lovely. My God.
A couple of comments coming through. Paul says, Prisoner Cell Block H, thank you for recognising the vocal talents of me singing. Well, they're locked up in there, aren't they? Someone on YouTube says, good evening, guys. Nice to see you alive and safe. Big hug. It's nice to be alive and almost safe. Yeah. Do you want to talk about... There's another thing that would keep us safe. The tracing app, the tracking app that they talk about. We don't know if we're going to end up having it over here. In America, there's talk of it, and Rudy Giuliani was interviewed, and he seems to not be keen.
Michael Bloomberg is going to handle the tracing army of tracers in New York. We learned today from Cuomo.
That's totally ridiculous.
Yeah, an army of tracers.
Then we should trace everybody for cancer.
Yeah, army of tracers.
We should trace everybody for cancer and heart disease and obesity, and I mean a lot of things kill you more than COVID-19. So we should be traced for all those things.
A lot of things kill, like stupidity, and that one is spreading. Look, I've got a message for you, Rudy, and stop your messing around. He's not that stupid that he doesn't understand. You only need to contact trace on contagious things. If you've got coronavirus, you might have spread it to someone before. You work out who you've been near. You work out if they've got it. You test them. You don't spread obesity that way. In fact, actually, I think it works the other way around. If ever I turn up to where you're eating with my gut out, it will probably put you off your food. So you don't need to contact trace for obesity. He said cancer, and this is where he's right.
Oh,
do you remember Michael Douglas, the actor?
Yes.
He said that he got his throat cancer because of a virus. You can get cancers from virus, HPV. And he said he got it from giving oral pleasure to ladies. Which means, Rudy's right, you do need to contact trace who you've been near. Yeah. And look, if oral sex can spread cancer, it's time we start treating it like smoking. It should be banned in restaurants. And if you have to do it in a pub, do it in the beer garden. Come on, think about it. Because some of us don't want to have a night out in a pub with you and then come home smelling of secondhand juice.
I mean, the good thing is now, if you do it in the pub, once pubs reopen, with the spacing that they'll have, 2 meters.
How are you going to reach? Long, tall salads are going to be getting a lot of action.
And then you'll have enough space. I think, if anything, that might be, if people are reluctant to come to the pubs, if they're allowed to do different activities, maybe,
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people aren't going to pubs. They reckon a gastro pub is the way forwards. Well, similar. But turns out the reason why Trump and that whole mentality won't like the idea of a tracing app is because it's going to get him in trouble. There'll be some sort of White House aide going, Mr. President, it says that your phone has been near a lot of strip joints. Now, you've clearly not lost your phone as you've been tweeting bull crap every half hour. So he won't want to be tracked and people will work out where he's up to. Turns out you don't just need the tracing app to get in trouble. We've all been working from home. They're in Spain. I've got the details here. In Spain, there's a TV anchor called Alfonso Merlos. He was doing a news show from home. Pay attention to the bottom right-hand corner to see if you can notice why he got in trouble. There he is, reading some news in Spanish, which is what they do. Oh, sexy lady. Sexy lady carrying a tray. Now,
is that how they do the dishes in Spain?
I think it is. At first, I saw that and I thought, if that's a hotel, that maid is really angling for a big tip. But turns out he was at home, and that sexy lady was not his girlfriend from their Big Brother star Marta Lopez. It was fellow journalist Alicia Rivas. And even more controversially, it was clearly filmed during lockdown, because why else would you have a news anchor doing a show at home? And so that means she must have been breaking social distancing lockdown rules. Go in there. I say more controversially, less controversially. It's more controversially that she's banging a co-worker. Yeah. So, do you know, I'm slightly upset because I get to play a news anchor on TV and I don't get one of them walking past here. There's the sexy lady who's just, and if you look at the video, she was clearly just wearing a bra but nothing on the bottom half. Which,
I haven't looked at the video that closely, Steve.
do you want me to show you the video again? There we are. I can show you the video. Pay attention to, there he is reading. He's wearing nothing on the lower half because he's on Skype, and she's wearing nothing on the lower half too. The sexy lady got no pockets.
Got terrible posture, though.
He betrays. So yeah, that's another good reason not to be working from home. Normally, if you're on Skype, you embarrass yourself by standing up, but that was the least of his problems.
Yep. Well, at least it wasn't like the BBC guy who had his kids come in and just push him out of the way with, the head. If she'd popped in that way and he just pushed her, that probably would have been worse. But, right.
Yeah, we're already hit 1:30, but we've got a couple of more stories to go through. What do you want to do?
Yeah. I wanted to talk about one of Trump's tweets.
Do it.
And if you guys, if there's people out there that want to send us questions and problems to solve, we can try and squeeze them in this show. We can roll them over to the next show. And obviously, if you want to, or you can contribute to our hard work. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
That looking at videos on the web of naked ladies walking around. This show is not easy to put together. It takes time and effort. You
have to rewatch the videos a lot as well.
Yeah, over and over. Well, you caught the broad thing. Anyway, Trump is, keeps sending incredible tweets throughout this. And I wanted to, another one caught my eye. I wanted to share it with you. But, I have avoided as much as possible doing a Trump impression all of this time that he's been president. But I realize, he's around. With my luck, he's probably going to win re-election. So I should start working on my Trump impression. So I've been tweaking it. I did one on Tuesday. It wasn't quite right, so I'm going to try a slightly different version now. So I've got this tweet. We can put it up, and I'll read it. So I'll share it with you guys. Despite reports to the contrary, Sweden is paying heavily for its decision not to lock down. As of today, 2,462 people have died there, a much higher number than the neighboring countries of Norway, 207, Finland, 206, or Denmark, 443. The United States made the correct decision.
It's like Sesame Street. Your impressions are good, man.
Is it getting better? What do you think?
I'd say colder, but who am I to comment? You keep working through them as we do. Keep doing the shows. You keep doing them.
All right, I'll keep working on it. Nothing says that you're standing with your fellow human beings, like gloating over the deaths of other countries and listing them out. That is what a heartwarming, just compassionate man.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? This is another one of those times. You know me, I'm always standing up for Trump, and I think it is right to point out Sweden didn't make the right decision, and I think they're a bit blasé about what these conditions are like. I think it's because the most famous thing they're known for is Stockholm Syndrome, and that's not that bad. Did we get away with that? I don't know. Is that too harsh?
Were you stuck there once? Is that why?
Yeah, I got stuck there for a while, and by the end of it, loved it. So yeah.
Well, do you have? Do you have anything else?
In terms of messages, Simon says faux I had no idea what that was meant to be. But the typing did not go well on that message. I think we're all caught up. If you'd like to send any more messages through, in whichever place you are watching this, we should be able to track them down. So send your questions. Yeah. There we go. Chris has just sent one through. I've bought some dodgy stuff off eBay lately. What has turned up at your house that you've bought out of sheer boredom?
Ooh,
Chris, nice question. I got to be honest. My lockdown journey is going differently to other people's. I've not done any additional spending. All I'm buying basically is microwavable rice and fish, because that's all I'm eating. And I'm desperately trying to lose weight because I genuinely don't fit my clothes. And I've not been buying alcohol as well. I'm not even like you. I went to a shop today, and one of the main reasons I don't buy alcohol is because I don't want to have to get age verified. I'm using the self-scan till, so I'm not near any dirty people with their diseases. And if you try and buy alcohol, it says, please wait while the assistant confirms your age. And then you just have to wait for hours until someone bothers to... If I wasn't 18 when I was trying to buy the wine, by the time they turn up there, I would be. So, no, I've not bought anything at all. I'm just
Wow.
sitting by the window recording myself singing Prisoner Cell Block H things. It's a different journey.
Yeah, I mean, most of the things I bought, I panic bought this webcam, bought, well, when the internet crashed for us the other week, I bought an Ethernet cable. So I think the Amazon delivery person thinks I'm starting a Pornhub site.
It's not ruled out, let's be honest. Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if the gigs don't start coming in soon and the contributions aren't coming in for this show, I'm going to try a different avenue.
Good God. I mean, even I'm going to contribute to kofi.com/comics aren't essential. Just as I don't want to have to accidentally see that. Struth. We've got Christopher. Chris Bailey. We've got another question. We'll try and take this one. It says, hi, Steve. I'm having great issues with the daily decision as to whether to shave or not to shave. Oh, and then my screensaver just kicks in. Should I let the long locks settle back or keep the head as shiny as yours? Any thoughts? And then I discover facial hair is coming back blonde, or is it light grey? Interesting. I'm looking forward to growing things out, actually. We've got 2 weeks left of MASH Report, and I have to shave and trim the hair for that. But 2 weeks from now, I'm going to start to go full vagrant, the vagabond. Is it hard?
Yeah. I wonder if after this, because there's been a lot of controversy about shaving in general, not just faces, but the other bits. The newer kids these days, they shave other things that us from the older generations never thought of. But I wonder if that's going to go out of fashion. People not wearing trousers, people maybe wearing a little bit more of a
downstairs snood.
Yep. That's kind of what I was going for. Except Americans don't say the word snood, so you'd have to translate that for anybody watching from overseas. But yes.
Probably fanny.
I mean, I've shaved for this. But no, I've decided, I'm not worried about this is going to grow out, but I have been shaving just to stay nice and tidy.
Do you know what I might do? Seeing as the only thing any time anyone sees me is during these. I might do the same as Chris, just let it grow. This will be the one time in our lives when we're allowed to do it. And my dad was bald, still is bald, but Dad's still with us and he's still bald, and it's the same kind of hair thing. I might do what he did, because if this lockdown goes on till September, I might grow it all out and then just woohoo! I've always wanted a comb over.
Now's the chance.
Yeah.
And it's not like anybody's going to be able to make fun of you to your face.
True. I mean, we do get an awful comments about my baldness on the Twitch feed, but I just block all those users after each show. So, and if you want to mock me for having a comb over, well done. You've won that battle of wits, as if I don't know what it looks like. So I'm doing it. Chris, let's do it. Let's grow it out.
There you go. There's got to be a niche market there for the comb-overed man.
Yeah. And I might do the same downstairs as well. Grow it out bigger on one side, fold it over.
Yep.
Make it look like Gonzo from the Muppets has become some northerner. Put a flat cap on it.
Nothing like highbrow political satire. That's what we're bringing you here.
Yeah. Gonzo from the Muppets has got mumps. That's what it's going to look like. So,
right.
I think we're done.
I think we've done a show.
If you've enjoyed the broadcast in any way, there is this thing down here. If you'd like to buy us a coffee, that would be very muchly appreciated, especially by Eric, who's buying enough kit to sort out his own OnlyFans page. And there's the podcast, the podcast that we do, which is called Comics Aren't Essential. Get that on iTunes. It's free as well. And then we'll do another one next week. Any updates from you, Eric?
Yeah, we got, I have no gigs, but we do, I'm putting videos out on my YouTube channel. You've got the MASH Report for 2 more weeks. And after that, you're going to definitely be questioning the purpose of your life as you grow out your beard and comb over. We got a last minute supporter. Look at that. Great way to end the show. Someone, Rachel, has just donated. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Oh, and Simon sent another message saying, great show, guys. Yes, the keyboard worked. It's probably just your abbreviations I didn't understand. But thank you very much. Glad you've enjoyed it. When we do the next one? Next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday. We'll see you then.
Yeah. Brilliant. Till then, goodbye.
Bye.